Where to even begin today?
I'm trying to turn up the volume on my computer, but
Gotcha.
this one's in the way.
Helpful as always.
The great burden of my existence, who I love very much.
Me
Yeah.
too, Oliver. Every day.
Well, she has been the cause of many problems for me.
Oh, she's been extra special lately.
Yeah, but not her fault.
It's not her fault. This is very true.
She's as sweet as ever.
Aw.
If anything, she wants more love. Okay, yeah,
Shocker.
yeah,
But the
they don't.
patient is okay.
Yeah, she she's short two teeth now, but
They let you keep them, which shocked me.
they're oh man, what a conversation because
I hope you
I
blamed me. I really truly do.
I did um because I had trouble just leaving her there and going home, so instead I was like running errands and stuff while I was waiting on them to get her teeth out, and I was in Walmart of all places when they called, um and was like explaining what they did and aftercare and all that. And then she said, like, I have the teeth here. I'll show them to you real quick just so you can kind of see what they were like. And I was like, actually, could I? And she just was like, sure, yeah. And she started saying this whole thing about like, yeah, we don't usually get to keep their baby teeth. I'm like, no, no, that's not the reason. And so I was like, yeah, no, I have a friend who's like gothish and wants to, you know, collect teeth.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. And then the same thing when I actually went to pick her up, the woman at the front desk was like, "Oh, I see we have a tube of teeth here." So again, I had to explain this. It was a request. I was asked to save them.
By
She was
my
like, "Yeah." Like I don't think she actually believed me.
by my weird fucking friend.
Yeah, I don't think she believed me. It was like, "So I have this friend," like when you're really talking about yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, she exists. I swear."
And this is proof.
Yeah. So they're real gross looking. They thought there was just one rotten tooth, but then when they got that one out, they saw that there was one behind it that was also rotten.
That's fun.
Yeah. And they didn't even actually have to pull them. They were so loose that they just kind of wiggled them and they came out.
Wow.
Yeah. This poor little thing. She was running around, pawing at her mouth, couldn't close her mouth at all. Her tongue was just hanging out. It was like blood coming out. It's terrible.
Gross.
Terrible. They said one of her teeth came loose partially and then like turned inward or something.
Ew.
And that's why she couldn't close her mouth because the way her tooth was lodged in there.
Huh.
Yeah, it was very bad. But as soon as they got him out, she's been totally fine ever since, just not eating as much, but just her usual self in every other way. Will you quit? You're gonna snag my shirt.
Including
But
harassment and being sharp.
yes, she's always clingy. I call her my Velcro cat, but she's been worse.
Shocker.
Part of me thinks it's like she's actually grateful or something because her mouth was hurting.
Hmm.
Because she does have this tendency when I give her like treats to, as soon as she's done eating, then come over and like thank me and like rub my legs.
That's so
Or
cute.
like after, yeah, feed them their breakfast in the morning, she comes over and like she comes to find me to rub me a few times and then goes to take her bath.
Or she knows that she can sucker you.
Well, no, because she knows she's done eating,
Oh, well, yeah.
and she usually doesn't even eat all of her breakfast. She eats part of it, and then Luna just the rest.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Yep. So I think she's just a very grateful kitty.
You love
Pieces.
to see it.
Yeah. But yeah, so she can only eat wet food for 2 weeks, which is why I really can't go anywhere for 2 weeks. Which means, of course, that I didn't get to go to Saratoga Comic Con last weekend.
Which was big sad. I had to manage without you. It's a very good thing that Kyle was still available to be my handler because I could not see for shit on Saturday.
Oh.
I knew it wasn't going to be ideal because it's a mask and I put like mesh in the eye holes so I wouldn't have to
Yeah.
put makeup like all over my face. But oh my god. It was far from ideal. And when Kyle left, I just went upstairs and like partially took over the Big Dumb Monsters table because I didn't want to walk around by myself because I couldn't see.
And presumably you had enough time to look at stuff earlier.
Oh yeah, no, I had an absolute blast. Now like what, 4 days later, I have finally gotten all the makeup stains off my skin. It was intense. And I was so careful. I did like everything you're supposed to do to not have that happen. I like put so much barrier spray on my skin, and then I put on the makeup, and then I sealed it with hairspray. And still,
Yeah. No.
it was a mess, but also my Vessel cosplay turned out great. I was really proud of it, and it's going to be even better the next time I wear it because I commissioned the shoulder armor.
Did you do the cosplay contest?
I did. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Actually, the thing is, I only got to do the walk-on, which was fine because I like attention, but I didn't realize that they had started doing sign-ups for performance beforehand. So I did not get to do that. But next time.
Well, I thought they did that last time too, but only for people that needed like more than a few seconds.
See, that's the thing. They did, and you could like write it down, but they were like, we've had so many people come up that like we need to like have there be a cutoff.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Can't have people sitting there for like 2 hours.
So I did not know that, and I missed the deadline.
Well, you can look at it as like a dry run. You know,
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna do more things for the same outfit.
Yeah.
2024, next year. And also, hopefully, fingers crossed, next year we will actually have a table.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Hopes are high. But,
I was utterly devastated not to be there. Like, it killed me. I spent all of my time for like 24 hours doing math and Googling things and trying to figure out how to make it work.
if it makes you feel any better, the producer for the Big Dumb Monsters podcast, like, happily took on your role helping shill for us when I was not at the table.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna call it about equally as bad. I can't go anywhere for Thanksgiving.
I'm so sorry.
Just here. Just
I
me.
am so sorry.
It was like hard to tell my parents, like, hey, so I only come to visit you like 4 times a year. It's gonna be 3 this year.
Make that 3.
So, very unfortunate.
You
So
do absolutely hate to see it.
Just to feed this little monster who's now laying on the floor next to me.
The things we do.
Good thing she's cute.
I got my Twitter back.
Yeah.
I finally bullied support staff enough for them to finally acknowledge the messages that I was sending and not just give me the auto-generated email that was like, reset your password. So that was cool. And because I was such a mess last episode, I have 2 things that I forgot to mention that I will be mentioning now. One, I purchased a physical magazine in the year of our Dark Lord 2023, and when I show you what magazine it is, it will come as no surprise that I had to get my hands on an actual physical copy of the issue of Metal Hammer that has Papa Emeritus on the front in a sheet ghost costume. Shocker. But I think that's the first time in my adult life that I've ever, actually probably maybe the first time in my life that I have ever purchased a magazine, TM.
Interesting. I mean, I subscribe to Runner's World. This one actually just came.
I love that for you. Also, I think my son might be trying to communicate.
Well, that's what meowing is, so sure.
No, but like wanting me to understand. And yes, this is utterly insane. And maybe I'm just hallucinating, but a couple days ago, I I always give him treats immediately when I get home because he's a good boy and I have to apologize for leaving him.
Sorry, treats, as I
Sorry,
call them.
treats. But the other day, I came home and I really had to pee, so I went to the bathroom first. And as I'm like washing my hands, I can hear him out in the kitchen doing the come here meow.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a person that I follow on TikTok, and I don't know how true this is necessarily, but this person was like, "Oh, here's like the different types of like cat meows and like what they mean to cats." So I hear him do the like come here meow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking, "Oh, that's weird." And then a couple seconds go by, and he does it again.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like is he trying to communicate?
Yeah, that's the idea, isn't it?
I know,
I
it was
mean,
just wild.
I don't know to what extent that person is correct, but I've definitely seen TikToks with like the meh sound seems to be like, come here.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did twice in a row.
Yeah, and I don't know how correct that is, but apparently it's enough of a pattern for this person to believe that it is, you know?
I have
So,
done that to him. It's worked a couple times, but also he's still a teenager, so he could just be a brat.
yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean, cats are always like that, though. They just kind of do things as they want to. It doesn't mean they don't understand you.
this is solid point.
But,
Very true.
but remember the last night I was there and Oliver slept with me on the pull-out couch. At one point, he was like laying against my like legs or something. I don't even remember. And I was like, Oliver, I need to get up and turn over. Do you mind moving? And he just got up. And I laid like flopped over on my other side. He laid on the same spot on the other side. Like he listened.
That's okay.
Crazy. Yeah, I was like, cool. Thanks.
Blink twice if you can understand. Like if you understand
Yeah,
English.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was just some sort of weird coincidence, and the fact that I was moving kind of like disturbed him, and he stood up for a minute. But
Yeah.
still, it just
Still.
felt like he listened to me, and I was like, that's wild, man.
Yeah. No, that's kind of freaky. But I don't think I had anything else. But yeah, maybe he's actually trying to like say words to me.
Well,
I
his
hope
cat
so.
was
That'd
actually
be
safe.
fun. Also, the other day, he played fetch like 10 times in a row, so it's definitely not like a series of coincidences anymore. Like he like just knows.
Of course, I have video of him doing it several times in a row.
Yeah, it's wild. Better than I never even had to teach him, and he does it better than my dog ever did, ever.
Yeah, I've shown that video to people before because I've mentioned like, oh yeah, her dog, wow, her cat plays fetch.
And they're like,
Little
no, it
slip
doesn't.
and they're just like, oh yeah, sure, like they don't believe it. I'm like, I have video.
Yeah, no,
And,
I have
and
video too. I'm like, I say that to people, and they're like, oh, allow
yeah,
me to demonstrate.
what's funny is that when they're watching it and they see him do it the first time, I think in their minds are still like it's a fluke, like yeah, he did it once and then he does it the second time and the third time. I think I got him up to like 5 times or something
Yeah,
before I stopped recording. Yeah, and then like, oh wait, no, this is a thing that he does.
he's a special little boy. I love him. But speaking of pets, one of the first things I have for us to discuss today is: do we think that our pets judge us?
I think it depends on the pet.
Okay.
I think some pets are judgier than others, just like people.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I can say like, just like thinking about like Nixie, I don't think she has ever judged anything in her life. Like, she's
Yeah.
like
I
this
mean, head
sweetest
empty.
creature. Well, it's not even that. She's just like so incredibly sweet. Every time she sees an animal, she just wants to be friends with it. She's always pawing at the back door, like, look, it's a cat. And then she looks at me and meows, like, why can't I be friends with cat? Like, she just loves everybody and everything. She's just very scared. Like, she would really love to be pet by everybody who comes to the house, but then she's just scared. So I don't think she's like remotely judgmental, but I've definitely met some cats where I'm like, you're judging me.
Okay, because my second point is any specific examples of this, so please do share.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just in the way that they look at you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know how else you would
There's a
get that
haughtiness
idea.
to it sometimes.
Yeah. Like an unblinking stare from a cat oftentimes feels very judgy. I get that from Luna.
Okay, cool. So it is one of your pets.
I mean, I've definitely had it from various cats over the years because I spent a lot of time with a bunch of different cats. But yeah, like sometimes I'll just be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, I feel like I'm being watched.
Hmm.
And I'll turn and she's just, I'm
See,
like,
I
don't
would
stare at me.
say that Alphaba, sometimes Alphaba looks at me like she's judging me, but she also can't blink.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
So, like, what do I know?
yeah. It's really hard to read a snake, but I don't know that they have the mental capacity to judge anyway.
No, not remotely.
I don't.
Um,
Yeah,
See, I think even if Oliver tried to judge me, it wouldn't work because I've seen how stupid he is,
yeah,
like firsthand for over a year now.
yeah. I have not sensed judginess from him because honestly, when I look at
I
him, no
just
matter
sense
what his
confusion
expression,
from him.
yeah, no matter what his expression, I'm like, there's something going on up there that's just weird and confusing
Mm-hmm.
and kind of dumb.
Like the gears are trying to turn, but they're not quite. It's not quite working right.
Yeah, very similar to my snake, Harley,
Yeah,
because he seems like he's trying, like he's wiggling around and climbing and blah blah laying at you. It's like he seems like he's trying to do a thing or maybe even communicate, but he doesn't know how to do anything
it's not going
except
great.
eat mouse and burrow.
One of the cats that I like, because Oliver was not the first cat that I met in an attempt to be chosen by a friend. The first cat was definitely judging me harshly.
Are you talking about that one that was like this the stray cat outside?
No,
There's a different
it was the same cat rescue. No, that cat was so sweet, and I hope she's great. Um, the same cat rescue that I got Oliver from. They were like, "Oh, we have this like 7-year-old female who was like she was declawed. It was very sad. Super
one.
pretty cat. Um, who didn't really love being in the shelter, so she was just like not in the mood to make friends like remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like had a little bit of time where I was just like trying to see if I could maybe purchase some affection by like giving her treats, and it just wasn't happening. She was just like, I felt
See,
very judged by that cat.
that's sad because like I still think if I hadn't adopted Nixie, she might still be at the shelter because she wouldn't let anyone touch her.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna want to adopt a cat they can't even touch? I mean, I wouldn't have even looked at her if, except that I wanted Luna, and I was like, oh, but I want two, and they're like, oh, well, she has a brother, sister, um, and I was like, oh, that'd be nice. They gotta get along, right, from the same litter, so I'll adopt them both. And they're like, all right, here she is, because I feel like I have to explain to the people. They thought she was a boy for some reason at the time. It's a whole thing, but I couldn't even touch her at all. And I was still like, you know what?
That's fine.
That's fine. I want Luna to have a sibling, you know? I'll adopt her anyway. It wasn't until after I applied to adopt her and I'd hung out at the shelter place for a couple of hours that I got to actually pet her for the first time.
Aw.
Like days after I applied to adopt her. So,
Yeah, and I'm still working on it.
yeah. So I think she would still be there because, yeah, they have definitely have cats there that they've had for like years and years, which is very sad.
Big sad
But
indeed.
I mean, it makes sense because like, why would I have applied to adopt Nix otherwise? Because I would like this cat that I can't even pet to know what they're like.
Yeah.
I was afraid she would be afraid of me the whole time, but that was
But yeah, I felt very judged by the first cat that I had.
what kind of cat
Someone.
was it?
Hmm?
What kind of cat?
What do you call it when they're like gray? I don't know if it's quite like a tortoise shell thing, but they're like gray and black and brown.
That
But there
might
isn't.
be.
But there isn't a pattern to it.
Oh, just like splotchy cat.
Yeah, or like their fur was like
I mean, calico.
maybe
Hmm.
something like that. Sure,
I do love a tortie.
but yeah, she
Sorry,
wasn't. She wasn't having it.
yeah, yeah. Although torties, you know, there's the whole idea of tortitude that torties have attitude, which of course I had a tortie in white, long haired. Buck baby was tortie. And technically, Luna's half tortoiseshell. She's a tabby tortoiseshell.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't, but she was not, just not having it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
maybe not me then.
Yeah. Some cats, it just takes them longer to warm up to people too, like in just that environment and stuff.
I've never felt judged by Piper because, again, there's nothing happening up there. There's nothing in her head but air and love. Um,
Not enough neurons to form a judgment.
I have felt judged by Echo.
Okay.
She's too smart. She knows what's happening.
I've still not met Echo in person.
So she like
But,
knows when I'm not being smart.
yeah.
Although I
Oh
have
yeah.
seen her like try to pose like a model and then immediately like gag on lake water, so like there's a
Yeah.
little bit of give and take there, but she does have the capacity to judge.
Absolutely. Huskies are way too smart.
Like that's the thing. I think huskies can be an incredibly judgmental dog because they're so smart.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is, right? As the
You could
intelligence goes,
never be judged
Huskies.
by a borzoi.
No, it's biologically impossible.
Not at all.
Yeah. I think to be judgmental, there has to be a certain level of intelligence, because I think a lot of pets just don't have that capacity.
I would agree. Have you ever felt judged by any of your parents' cats?
I was actually just thinking about that because um, Milo is very similar to Nyx. Like they are both scared of everything, super sweet, not a mean bone in their
Which I think
bodies.
is so funny because he's so thick.
He's a big boy. He's just
He could
like
eat most of his problems.
I saw you a picture once of like how big his head is that I can
Yeah,
lay my
it's
hand
your
on his
whole
head.
hand.
Years. Like
It's wild. He's so big.
he's ginormous, but he's scared of everything, and it's
Oh, my
but he's
cousin's
very
cat
sweet.
that I'm gonna see tomorrow, because we're recording the day before Thanksgiving. Zeus, he has the capacity to judge, and he has done it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But yeah, Milo is just a very sweet boy. Their other cat, on the other hand, Loki, judgiest little man I ever met.
I was about to say that's a very judgmental name.
He just, well, his name was originally Lucy because they thought he was a girl, and then they took him to a vet to get fixed, and they were like, "Hey, just kidding, it's a boy." And they were like, "What's the closest name we can think of?"
Sure, why not?
That's essentially where that came from. And my stepdad wanted to name Milo Thor,
Hmm.
and my mom refused. She's like, "He doesn't look like a Thor." I'm like, yeah. Little did you know he was going to turn out to be
Yeah, I was
this
about to
monstrosity.
say he's buff.
He was a kitten at the time, though. He was just a little thing.
Ah, yeah, that'll do it. If
Um,
only.
but yeah, Loki, he's a long-haired tuxedo cat,
Hmm.
and there's just something about his face.
Maybe it's the tuxedo thing. He's so well dressed that he's looking down on everybody.
Well, my mom actually was just telling me the other day that she read an article about like the traits of tuxedo cats,
Okay.
like what their personalities are, and she said it fit him to a T. But yeah, it was kind of like basically saying judgy without using the word judgy, if I'm remembering correctly.
Interesting. I wonder if there's anything that like what happens if I search cow cat personality? Probably nothing.
Well, like we know orange boys have distinct
Well,
personalities.
that's the thing.
There's an orange personality, there's a torty personality, apparently a tux personality.
Oh?
When
Oh,
I
there's a
was,
whole subreddit for cow cats.
oh, no doubt. That's what Milo is.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was enough of I didn't know if it was enough of a thing to really have a name like a tuxedo or a tortoiseshell or whatever.
When I was at the vets with Nyx on Friday, the vet tech, as she was walking out, like she just loved Nyx, kept petting her because Nyx is like because she's so scared in the vet, she just lets anyone pet her, like she,
No.
freezes. And so she was walking out. She was like, "Oh, I got 5 of you at home, and like
5?
five cats." And she was like, "But my black cat is like the sweetest, my clingy cat." I was like, "She's my clingy cat." I was like, "I call her my Velcro cat."
So maybe
And
that's
she
part
was
of it.
Well, yeah, and that's what started me wondering. I'm like, everything I've ever seen online about black cats is that they are super sweet and cuddly, and I'm wondering if that's like a common thing. I mean, obviously there will be exceptions, but I thought it was interesting. She was like, "Oh, I like the term Velcro cat. We usually just refer to it as smother season."
I like this cow cat that is happily accepting a bath. That's
Mm-hmm.
on the cow cat subreddit.
Sure.
He's just vibing. Not a lot of brain cells seems to be pretty common.
Yeah. The only two cow cats I know don't have a tongue. I mean, not
Proud
that's.
parent to a stupid boy.
I
Where
mean,
is he?
Milo's very
He hasn't made an appearance in too long.
yeah.
My son.
My parents' cow watches a lot of TV.
Hi, my dumb little cow. Come here. Oh,
He's particularly fond of the Weather Channel.
goodness. Is he?
Because, like, the radar, things moving across maps. He likes to. Why,
Well, hi.
hello! If it isn't the idiot of the hour. Said with much affection. Hi, bud.
What's that?
Sorry I didn't get to hang out with you last weekend.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I
I
regularly
was.
hold him up to the mirror to see if he's gained sentience yet. I think whatever the opposite of sentience is,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah, I was gonna get there like an hour early on Friday just to hang out with him until you got home.
Aw, he would have loved that.
And I was ready to go and everything.
Well, no, because when Kyle was like between seasons at work, he just hung out here for like 2 weeks. So he always had someone here.
Aw.
And now
Spoiled.
he's a lonely boy again. Except
Yeah.
probably not, because he just naps all day.
It's like, well, no, I would have gotten my snuggle time with him in before we had to go to the con.
Well, soon.
Yeah. A couple weeks.
Yeah. Unless we have anything else to say about animals judging us, or just animals in general.
I love talking about animals, and we'll do it nonstop.
I mean, the floor is yours. It's only been 27 minutes.
Well, no, I mean, because I'm just thinking, at this point, we have really just talked about cats and dogs and snakes. But, like,
See, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really has the hardware to. I think an iguana could judge you.
oh yeah, beardies for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so some lizards can judge you.
I was thinking about horses, too. I feel like I could feel real judged by a horse.
Yeah, you know what? I probably could feel extremely judged by a horse. But it's got that one. I think it wears very down to the individual.
Yeah, yeah. Much like
'Cause-
cats.
Much like cats, because I've seen some really stupid horses on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I've also seen very intelligent ones that just seem like they watch your every move.
Yeah.
Just, I don't like that.
And also, being called like a thoroughbred, I think that would make you feel very superior.
Oh yeah, especially the ones that are like, highborn or whatever with famous parents, like in the racing community and stuff.
Okay,
Like,
so yes, a horse could definitely judge me.
mhm.
Definitely some kinds of lizards.
I don't know about rodents. I don't know if I'd ever feel judged by like a rat or
No,
a mouse
I don't think I don't think there's enough happening up there.
or like a hamster or a gerbil.
Definitely not a guinea pig.
Yeah, or a rabbit, for sure. I could feel judged by a rabbit.
Yeah. Especially one of those giant Flemish rabbits. I
Oh,
could also
love
feel
it.
judged by a hare. I don't really know if people keep those as pets. But
I feel like they're generally more just wild.
do you know how rabbits kind of there's just adorable round boys, and then there's the sort of watership down feral wilderness prophets.
Yeah, like in Holy Grail.
Yeah, I could feel very judged by that sort of rabbit.
Oh yeah, I definitely. There's something in their eyes, like because every time I go to Country
You know what
Max,
I could feel fucking judged by, and I know that some people kind of keep these as sort of pets in the way that people have affection for some sorts of some kinds of livestock. Goats.
Oh yeah, goats are super
And
judgy.
again, it's in the eyes. It's the fact that their pupils are square, and also maybe it's the fact that they're like as a like they have been used as a representation of the devil for a very very long time. I could certainly feel judged by a goat.
Yeah.
Again, it's
No.
probably down to the individual because when I go to there's a place near where I live where I always go to get like cider donuts and stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
stay away from my PC, you little shit.
I'm walking over there. That's what I was watching.
Don't do it. Yeah, you just take a bath right there and don't do anything else.
Just
Um,
pretending.
there's a place near where I live where I go get like cider donuts and whatever, and they have an orchard and a pumpkin patch, and it's also a little farm where like kids can like pet the animals.
Mhm.
Um, and when I see the little baby goats doing their little like yum, 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 yum on the grass, like oh they're so cute. They're not judging me, but like the adult ones that have like horns that are just looking at you like the. Have you seen The Witch? The A24 horror movie, the Wouldst Thou
Oh,
Like to Live Deliciously?
no.
Like, when I see a goat looking at me, like a fully horned goat looking at me like that with the fucking Wouldst Thou Like to Live Deliciously eyes, then I feel very judged.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know about cows, though.
I don't know if they. I'm gonna say I don't know if they're smart enough, but I feel like that can vary too. They have such big eyes.
They do have such big eyes, but they seem so friendly. Same place where, again, same like farm, orchard, ranch, whatever you want to call it. They have I think it's like one of those like Highland cattle where the females also have like very large horns.
Mm-hmm.
But her name is Rosie. And she's like that like coppery orange color and she has fucking like bangs essentially. She's so cute. I love her.
There's a rarer pet that I feel is judgy: alligators. Some people do keep gators as pets.
And you shouldn't be. Don't do that. Listen to Snake Discovery talk about how fucking hard it is to keep an alligator as a pet. Do not do it. But yes, 100% I would feel judged by an alligator.
Yeah, yeah. Something about their again. It's always
It's
the
the
eyes,
eyes.
and like that's the thing. It's like totally subjective because you can't
Actually,
look at
here's the thing. You say it's the eyes, and you're so right. But I could never feel judged by an anaconda. Because they are like semi-aquatic, so their eyes
Yeah.
aren't quite on. They're not quite side-facing like other
They're not
snakes,
quite
and they're not
stand up.
quite totally on top of the head like with uh like gators.
Yeah, yeah,
They look so stupid.
yeah, yeah. Like the sand boa.
I could never feel judged by an Arabian sand boa.
No, impossible.
Utterly impossible. It looks like a sock puppet. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other particularly exotic pets that I would feel judged by. Like little sugar gliders, no. Chinchillas, no. Hedgehogs, no.
Thought about that one. Yeah.
Also, hedgehogs, they're so cute. Apparently they're like kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I have looked at getting them so many times, but yeah, the care requirements are such a pain in the
Well,
ass.
no, but like care requirements are a lot, but like they also just like they masturbate like compulsively.
I hadn't read that, but why would you put that in the guide? Because it's not really.
Yeah. But no, there's not enough going on in those heads.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
Nah, 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 nah. No.
It was a matter of time.
Oh my god. No, I see. I see your eyes full of murder. No. I'm gonna go deposit you back on your tree and hope you stay there.
Oh. Encourageable. He cannot be stopped. But that's why you love him. Because he's a pain in the ass.
My little shithead. I think he is gonna stay though.
Oh, good.
Just
Good,
because
good,
he
good.
loves his tree.
Yeah, I think we've addressed all the pets that I've ever had because I had hamster, mouse, I had an iguana and a rabbit. I had turtles for a brief time as a kid. Those are not judgy.
Maybe a snapping turtle could judge me.
I've actually, now I'm really thinking about it. I don't know. I would feel judged by a tortoise.
Yes, especially oh my god, imagine like there's this post I've seen and someone's like they're like they work at a zoo. It's a Tumblr post and they're like there's an animal here that's older than I am. This tortoise is 30 something. But when I ask him, does the man want his appy slices? He hustles over because the man do want his appy slices. That's the thing. You have that, but on the other hand, if I was like tasked with the care of like a 75-year-old animal, oh my god, I could 100% feel judged.
Yeah, that thing has more life experience than you do.
Yeah,
It's
and
seen things you'll never see.
it's yeah. Or like I could be like again, and those things can live to like 150.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was 125 and it was still just chilling? This thing
Yeah,
has lived longer than I am ever going to. And again, maybe he is hustling over to get his appy slices, but
yeah,
still.
yeah. When I went to Reptiland over the summer, they had like three or four like of the giant tortoises that were super duper old. And you could see like in their
And that's
shell.
the other
Mhm.
thing. They're big boys. They
I really
thick.
wanted to pet their shells. Like I know they're just hard shells, but like I wanted to experience the 100-year-old tortoise shell.
Yeah.
But I was content just watching them eat lettuce.
Aw. But yeah, I think a tortoise is definitely capable of judgment. Your smaller turtle, perhaps not.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't think there's enough going on there. I feel like a tortoise, like especially a big
Maybe a
tortoise.
big snapper if it's a real bitch.
Yeah, yeah, snappy bitch.
But yeah, I think we've covered all of our bases. I can't think of any other pets.
No, but I was wondering, like, what would a pet judge you for? Like, when you feel like you're being judged, is there a particular reason, or you feel like they're judging you just for existing and being the person you are?
The times that it's here's the again, it hasn't happened to me a lot because I haven't had judgmental pets. But you know that episode of Schitt's Creek where Alexis goes over to Ted's apartment for the first time and they're like trying to get it on and the dogs are just staring at them? Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
a pet if they like manage to like nose open the door or something, a pet could definitely judge you for that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So there's that. And also like well, no. Yeah, I guess that's not relevant because I was like, well, if you have a tank pet and that's happening, but all the tank pets I'm thinking of again are just so fucking stupid.
Not really capable, yeah.
Like fish, frogs. Yeah, maybe if you have a beardy, but that's not a problem I have.
Yeah. I
So,
feel like both cats actually judge me a little bit every time I sneeze.
okay. Maybe I think that might be the only time that I get judgment from Oliver because or no, maybe not even judgment, just fear.
Aw.
Like just the startle.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's necessarily like I'm annoyed at you. It's like a what the fuck was that?
Yeah, if I sneeze or cough, I think sometimes I get the judgy look from Luna who's like, I'm trying to sleep here, man.
That's the thing, because I've seen videos where people's cats 100% judge them harshly for sneezing or coughing because they do the chirp.
Well, that's what Nixie does.
So
So
maybe
she does
she
that.
is judging you.
But I think it's more out of concern because I was trying to read about it before, and they're like, oh, there's several theories as to why they make that noise.
Interesting.
Um, and one of them is like out of concern because they think there's something wrong with you, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is evident because oftentimes if I'm like sick or something and I'm coughing a bunch, she'll make that noise a few times and then just get up and come over and lay on me or next to me.
Sweet
So I
baby.
think for her it's more concern, yeah.
Okay,
So it's
noted.
ridiculously
Yeah,
stupid.
but I think your pets can judge you for making noises that they don't like, for
Uh-huh.
adult activity,
Yeah,
for
for daring to take them to the vet.
yeah, for daring to take it. Sometimes, depending on the personality of the cat, for having the audacity to touch them after they voluntarily got in your lap.
Yeah, yeah. How dare you touch me when I didn't specifically request it?
Not a problem that I have, but I've definitely seen many a post made making that joke.
Yep. They're like, no, I consented to laying in your lap, not to
Not
being
to you
pecked.
touching me.
Two different things. It's like, okay, you're a self-warming cat bed to them.
Essentially, yeah. So I would say that you can be judged for a variety of things by your pets.
Yeah, yeah. I think for the most part, it's the making of the noise or the how dare you eat food and not share it with me that I get from you.
Yes.
Like I'm a
Actually,
monster.
I didn't. Well, again, I don't know if it was judgment, but this is a thing that happened with Piper once. I was standing in the kitchen and I peeled a banana and I was eating the banana and she's staring up at me like, please share. So I Googled, I was like, oh, can dogs have bananas? They were like, yeah, that's fine. So I broke off a little piece of the banana and offered it to her. She took a single sniff and was like, absolutely not. And then I continued eating it and she continued to stare up at me like, how dare you not share? I was like, I just tried.
Yep, I've been there. Like they refuse to believe that the thing you tried to give them is the same thing that you
Yeah,
currently are.
no, you have a secret third thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Final thing is just honestly, it's completely random. What are our go-to karaoke songs?
See, this is one area where we differ in that you like attention, but I don't.
Valid.
So I don't really do karaoke. I have before when I was like in eighth grade.
Did you have a go-to at the time?
No, because I only did it like once or twice.
Okay, I have two. It's either Rocket Man, not nearly as high as Elton John sings it, or Take Me Home Country Roads.
Interesting. So kind of slower, not like slow, but not fast paced either.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. I feel like you really have to stick to classics with karaoke unless you're like doing something with a very specific group of people that you know are gonna like get whatever weird reference you're making.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like I would go more with like a 90s song or something that's just fun that I know everybody would sing along with.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Creates kind of like a party atmosphere.
I'm here for it.
Let's do like an NSYNC song or something.
That would be good. Yeah, so I don't necessarily know what those say about me as a person. And the fun thing also is that my music taste having gone in the direction that it's gone in recently, I physically can't sing a lot of those songs. I'm trying to get there, but not right now. I can't.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think part of the point of karaoke and to be somebody that people enjoy watching do karaoke, it can't just be I liked this song so I sang it.
Yeah, no. You
You
like
need
there has to be some audience involvement.
Yeah, it's for everybody. So that's why I feel like I'm gonna cough, so I'm gonna mute myself. Slightly choked on my water just
Love
then.
that. Good presence of mind there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually done that in the past when we've had guests on, which is why you haven't noticed, I think, probably. But
Wow. And I
yeah.
never have. Wow.
Yeah, because I just mute real quickly while I wait till you're talking, and then I hit mute and cough, and then I unmute by the time you're done talking.
And I've literally never noticed it happen. I am impressed.
I just happened to be in like the middle of talking, and I couldn't hold it in. So
Nicely done.
yeah, very smooth.
But yeah, no, it definitely like you gotta involve the crowd.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, it's I came here to perform, and you all just endure it, rather than like we're
Yeah,
all
no.
having a fun
No,
night
no,
out.
no, 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 fuck that.
But I've definitely been around people like that who like go to
Karaoke,
karaoke.
it is not about being good.
No, no.
It is about the vibes. It is vibes alone. You can be a terrible singer and still be great at karaoke.
When I first moved here about 8 years ago, I was playing on a kickball team
Noise.
for a few seasons. And there was a bar that my kickball team and I like to frequent, and they had karaoke one night a week. And so we would go and mostly just kind of like watch people and, laugh a little bit and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was the guy on our team who he thought he was a good singer. Um, he wasn't like offensively bad,
Mm.
but I wouldn't call it, I put him at like a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
But he would go up there like it was a serious performance, you know?
Fuck
And
that.
like and clearly nobody was having fun because nobody was enjoying seeing him be so serious, but he also like didn't seem like he was enjoying it because he was taking it so seriously.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
that's
that's
the
not
thing. I
like this.
can't sing that well, but people lose their minds to like Take Me Home Country Roads.
Yeah.
There you go.
You sing better than he did.
I will take it. That means I'm above a 5.
Yeah, so I but yeah, I mean it's always been a bit of a fun thing. But actually I actually had a song picked out that I was gonna do one night there and I didn't end up doing it. I don't remember why. The song. I haven't been there in years now at this point. It's a
Hmm.
fun bar. I want to get there.
We stand. All right. I think that's going to bring us to the weekly worsening.
I just remembered the name of the bar. For some reason, I was blanking on it. It's called Firehouse.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got for me, Bestie? Unless you want me to go first, in which case I can.
The worsening?
Yes.
You can go first. I went first last week.
Okay, well, I made unnecessary purchases at a convention. Fucking shocker.
Yeah. What were you? What wares did you purchase? Oh my gosh. Which wares did you purchase?
Give me 2 seconds.
Or I'm not drunk. Drunk on water, maybe. Yeah, that's you know, there are a lot of reasons I'm disappointed that I had to miss the con. And maybe it's a silly one because you can buy a lot of the stuff they have there online. But yeah, I missed purchasing on the wares. I am so excited about that core.
I
What's
got vending machine Kirby. I
it
can't
like hollow?
find Cone Corb.
Is it hollow?
No. He's a
Oh, it
fucking.
looks like the screen. You know, it looks like there's a little open
He
screen or
has a
something.
little flap.
Oh, I love it so much.
So
Oh
yeah, I
my
got
God.
vending machine Kirby. I am desperate for Cone Corb.
I didn't even. Well, I guess I did know they make those because I. What was one I saw? There was definitely one I saw at some point.
I
Oh,
want
it was.
Cone Kirby.
I never want to play Kirby.
I know. But yeah, I got him and I love him so much.
So jealous.
And I got one of the flippy octopuses in my favorite color combination, black and red.
Nice.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, you're coming home with me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I got more little mystery boxes.
Did you get more of the Kirby?
I did not get more of the Kirby ones. I got Pokemon ones this time.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
there
I
was
got
this
more.
set that had a bunch of Pokemon like frolicking on the water's edge, and I loved every single one of them. So it was just like a no lose situation.
Was it from that guy?
It was from that guy.
Because I mean, if you opened them all and you had duplicates too, you could have like
Yeah, no,
traded
that's the
them.
thing. I did not make that mistake this time. And actually, he was nice enough to let me swap out one of the ones that I had purchased at Mid Hudson. And I was like, I had the same one at home. He was like, you're fine.
Oh,
So
so nice. Yeah, I like
appreciated
that guy.
that.
I think I spent more money at his booth than nearly any other. Like just in terms of number of times I've
Because they're
purchased
just
things.
so fun.
Yeah.
I love getting secret items.
Yeah. When they turn out to be the good ones, every once in a while it's like, ah, this isn't.
But that's the thing. I always like, that's why I look at all the options very carefully before I get one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, there were so many things I was interested in, like, but they were blind boxes, and I'm like, yeah, but I only want like these two. The rest would be,
Yeah, that is
and
the
so I just
struggle.
won't bother. Yeah.
But
Disappointing.
that was essentially, that's my main worsening. I purchased unnecessary items, and also I found another band.
I assume in the same vein as the others.
Kind of, yeah. It's a little closer to kind of like, ever so slightly closer to occult rock. They're called Green Lung.
Okay.
They're fucking awesome. So I continue to I continue to be insufferable.
Yeah.
How are you worse this week, bestie?
Oh man. Um, the 3D print rot continues.
Shocker.
I sent you the picture of my axolotl that I made. Look at his little tail. It's wild. I painted his eyes since I sent you a picture.
Aw.
But what's wild is like this prints in place. Like it's not like you assemble anything. It just
No, I
prints
know
like this.
it's nuts. Like
Magic.
there's like multiple different 3D print stands at Saratoga Comic Con, and they have like printing like the little octopus with the dangly legs. It's crazy. Magic
But I
indeed.
yeah, I ordered some orange filament and I have a pattern for a hognose. So I'm gonna make an articulated hognose that looks like Harley.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Yeah. And I'm like maybe if I just sit it right next to his enclosure, I wonder if he's not self-aware enough to
No,
notice
he's
it or
not remotely.
people are like, oh, is that gonna like freak him out? I'm like, he doesn't have enough brain cells to be freaked out.
No, he barely has enough brain cells to like to get by on a day to day basis.
Yeah. But yeah, I have since last week when I first mentioned getting the printer, I have bought like 8 more colors of filament.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good, because if
So
we're gonna fucking sell some trinkets,
yeah, so I I think the original plan of having a logoed coin for the pod is not going to work in the way that it was envisioned.
scheisse.
This was attempt number one. You can't really. Oh, there we see. That was my fault. That was a modeling mistake.
Okay.
Well, actually, it really wasn't. The CAD program I was using was doing a weird thing when I was trying to group the letters and the whole thing.
Okay.
This, I'm trying to make sure it's right side up. This is attempt number two.
Mm.
The font, what I figured out after spending approximately 5, 6 hours working on this the other, because that's the kind of person I am.
Shocker.
The font is just too delicate.
Okay.
The only way it can be done on this size is if I switch to a 0.2 millimeter nozzle, which I can do, but each one of these would take an hour and a half to print with a 0.2 nozzle.
So we're gonna have to regroup.
Yeah, because currently, like the default one that came on it is 0.4, and it just can't handle the. And even with the 0.4, this took like half an hour for one. So yeah, back to the drawing board on that.
Back to the drawing board, indeed. But
But there will be other things. I'll think of something else.
we will figure out something.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I have all kinds of different colors and it's great. But I
Exciting
also
times all around.
yeah. I think the other major way that I'm worse this week is just like the anime, man.
How did I
'Cause
know? How did I know that you being alone in your apartment unexpectedly was gonna lead to more anime?
well, I spent the weekend catching up on our flag means death, which just it's like I knew you hadn't seen it yet because there's no way you wouldn't have brought up some of the things in it just out of excitement. Um, but I'm pretty much done with My Hero Academia. There's a few episodes that are like locked in Crunchyroll Premium, but it doesn't make sense because I have a subscription, so something's wrong with it and I gotta figure it out.
When did you get a Crunchyroll subscription?
For the most recent season of Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Um, so I didn't feel like messing with it at the time though, and I was like, I'll just start watching something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
I figured that was gonna pop up next.
I keep doing it Jujutsu, not Jujitsu. Jujutsu.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I know how to say it, and yet it comes out as Jujitsu because that's.
It'd be like that
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'm like 14 episodes, 15 episodes in.
Nice. I need to watch Ergo Proxy because Kyle is a huge fan.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
I also still haven't fucking watched Nocturne.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. I watched half of it and then kept getting distracted. I think it's one that I really want to savor too.
That's fair.
You know, being only 8 episodes. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is just a little unhinged at times.
Love it.
But there's a character that I absolutely adore, and it would be fun to try to cosplay as him. I just don't know how you can do it because he wears a blindfold.
Mesh.
Huh?
Mesh.
I know, but You just said you had mesh and cleansing.
Yeah, I had multiple layers because I really, really, really didn't want anybody to see my eyes. If you had like some really like fine mesh, you could definitely
But then
do
I'm
it.
not blindfolded.
I'm sure people do it.
I have not, to my knowledge, seen anybody dressed as this character. I think I might have seen people dressed as the main character. It's hard to think about it in retrospect.
As the resident cosplay bitch, I will help you figure it out.
Yeah, in case anyone watches this and wondering what character I'm talking about, I mean, it should be obvious in the blindfold. It's a character named Gojo, but he is like the best jujutsu sorcerer in the world, essentially, and
Cool.
he wears an actual blindfold all the time, even though he can see because he has to like shield his eyes. But he's like the biggest badass in the world, which is just mind blowing.
Hell yeah. Hold on. Where's my phone? See,
He's
now
also
I'm immediately like, I'm gonna work this out for you.
I mean, it wouldn't be difficult, yeah, but it's just the blindfold part that's like. But yeah, it's an interesting show. I'm still relatively early in it, but I wish they did a bit more like character relationship development stuff. But I'm enjoying it because it just feels you get like slopped into it without a whole lot of like build up or learning about the world or the characters.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ergo Proxy and Nocturne are first on my list of things I'm watching next, but we'll get there.
Yeah, mine has been primarily motivated by like what I kind of see at cons, just wanting because I just have this drive to understand.
No,
like,
I feel that it is. That's the thing. I like walk around and I saw so many people from I saw a lot of Chainsaw Man. I saw a lot of come on, Bridget. Yeah, I saw a lot of Chainsaw Man. I saw a lot of Demon Slayer. I'm certain that there was a lot of JJK there that I just didn't recognize. I'm sure there was tons of My Hero Academia.
JJK?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh,
that's how I see people refer to it online sometimes.
Interesting. Jujutsu. Yeah, but like I just like to understand, I guess, is sort of my motivation. So
no, I feel that. I do feel that.
But now I've seen all of Demon Slayer, I've seen almost all of My Hero Academia except for a few episodes, and now I'm firmly into season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nice.
And of course, Chainsaw Man. I've seen that, but
I gotta get fucking reading with the manga and Chainsaw Man too. Anyway.
Yeah, catch up, man.
All right. Next week, 150th episode featuring the man himself, Mr. Henry Zabrowski. Tune in. God, I'm so excited.
I am nervous.
I'm not nervous yet. I'm sure that it'll hit, and I'll start freaking out. But it hasn't started yet.
I want him to like us.
Well, don't put that thought in my head.
That's why I'm nervous. I just want him to like us because I love him so much.
So, I mean, maybe we'll die before then. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week for our 150th episode. Holy shit. We will see you then. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!